Number 15. An election was contested by two candidates A and B. Means these two candidates, Mr. A and Mr. B, stood for election. Means it is called contesting an election. In all, there were 25,000 voters. So in that particular area, there are 25,000 voters. 80% of the votes were polled. Now, what happens is, even if there are so many people, it is not necessary that all of them go and vote. Okay, so only 80% of these voters polled, means they only went and they cast their vote. सिर्फ 80% of the voters ने voting किया. Okay, if A got 60% of the total votes polled, how many votes did B get? Now A is getting 60% of the total votes polled. Not this, not of the voters. They are saying of the votes polled. Means how many ever people went to elect, means went for polling, who went to vote. And 60% of that A got. And how many votes did B get? That is the question. So I have already written the information which is given in the question on the board, that in all there are 25,000 voters and all of them did not go for voting. That happens in our country also. All the people who are eligible to vote do not go for some or the other reason. Probably they are out of station or they are unable to go to the place where the polling is taking place. So they may have their reasons for not being able to go. So in this particular case, only 80% of these voters managed to go and cast their vote. And A is getting 60% of the people who polled. Voters who polled. Means 60% of those people who went and cast their vote. Those many votes A got. And how many votes did B get? Now there are only two contestants. There's only A and B. So if we know A is, from the votes which are polled, we can subtract and get B's votes. So first of all, we need to know how many people polled. So if we know the percentage of votes polled, we can very easily find out the number of votes polled using the find the value. Okay. So to find out the votes polled, what will you do? You will do 80% of the voters. And how many voters are there? 25,000. So you will do 80% of 25,000. So you will get to know how many people went and voted. So when you do this, you will get 20,000. So now what is 20,000? Out of 25,000, only 20,000 people went and voted. Now Mr. A, he is getting 60% of the votes polled. The votes polled are 20,000. So 60% of 20,000. A's votes will be 60% of 20,000. When you do this, you will get 12,000. Means A got 12,000 votes out of this 20,000. Now if you see, we are not using this anywhere now. Okay, once we got the number of voters who polled or voted, we are not looking at this 25,000 at all. Okay, so that is what you have to be careful about, which numbers you are taking into account. So A's votes will be 60% of the votes polled, and the votes polled are 20,000. So it means 60% of 20,000, which is 12,000. So if you want to know B's votes, what will you do? How many votes were cast, how many of them voted? 20,000. And out of that, A got 12,000. So how many are left? 8,000. So Mr. B got 8,000 votes.